Yes, sirree. Everybody. Woo. Welcome back to Friday Evening Trains. It is Friday. There's the game. It is Friday, which means it's some time for trains. Thanks everybody for your patience last week. Had to work a bunch of overtime at the end of last week on a project that was coming due this week, and was therefore unable to see all of your beautiful faces this last week. So we're back. It's good, and we are ready to roll. And we're going to be starting with a long one on the British side for once. Over on the Just Strange Cornish main line called Sleeping Inn. And we have no description, but basically we're taking the um, westbound edition of the Night Riviera from Plymouth to Penzance. And we'll be making quite a few stops along the way, which I will go over when we have the opportunity. Big news coming out. Well, lots of big news coming out. The DTM CSX SD40-2 pack came out yesterday. Good morning, driver. We have stops to make at Liskeard, Bodmin Parkway, Lostwithiel, Parr, St. Austell, Truro, Redruth, Hale, St. Earth, and Penzance. Let's open the doors back up here at Plymouth. Departure time is 5:41. Yes, the CSX XT45-2 pack came out, which is nice. It was actually also announced today that um, the that a route spanning from London Blackfriars and Victoria stations to Dover and Ramsgate will be coming out soon. Um, an impressively large route that kind of pretty much expands on the Chatham Mainline route, which ran from Victoria to Gillingham, um, adding the line to London Bridge and Blackfriars, and extending it south of Gillingham, along the original London to Faversham route to Faversham, and then beyond to Dover and Ramsgate. So quite a bit there. Also, pretty good potential for a Danny route merge with London to Faversham in the Medway lines. So, lot going on there. And then finally, the big announcement on, I believe it was Wednesday, that BNSF licensed content is going to be returning to the game worldwide for audiences outside of North America, or actually the U.S. So that's fantastic to hear. I'm so happy. Last I heard, I believe Mariah's Pass was beating Steven's Pass in the poll to be the one re-released before Christmas, with further content rolling out in the new year. So that's great. I'm super happy. Like I said in the Facebook post, I've always felt a little twinge of guilt making BNSF scenarios, like the one I actually just put out this week. That by the way was not intentional. That was pure coincidence in timing. That a thoroughbred gal came out today, or not today, this week. But yeah, thrilled to see that content is coming back and can be enjoyed by rail fans the world over again. Looks like we got some chopper action going on here. Good. Next stop is Liskeard. Arrival time is 6:06. Short train of vans. So this is Plymouth Station. And we have a rake of, I think, 8 sleepers in tow. Not super accurate, I don't think, for a BR era sleeper train. There should be some regular coaches, I think, sprinkled in, but I kind of modeled it off of the modern Night Riviera, which I guess wasn't a super accurate thing to do, so that's okay. The schedule is also kind of based on that, so we're now rolling above the town of, or the city of Plymouth. That is a sign. Modern art? I don't know what that is. We are currently in the county of Devon, but we will be crossing over to Cornwall shortly. We have a class 47 for traction. The classic. Speed limit has just popped up to 40. And this is the class 47 that comes with West Coast Main Line over Shap. See, it's kind of lightly weathered, which makes it good for a mid to late 80s base scenario, such as this one. Passing through Devonport Station. I think this is Dockyard Station? Yep, Dockyard Station. Oh, I forgot to key him. Speed limit has gone up to 50. What's up, Jessica? Good to be back in the saddle. You're currently descending a 1/69 gradient as we now pass through Keyham Station. I did, Jessica. I saw them on Reddit. I didn't realize it was initially a TSW advertisement. I thought it was just another heritage unit. But it's pretty cool that DTG got the opportunity to do that. So always kind of cool when one of your hobbies crosses over into real life. That's a nice bridge. We're now climbing up a 1/82 as the speed limit is dropping up to 40 just up ahead. I believe diverging to the right is the Tamar Valley line to Gunnis Lake. We are passing through St. Victoria Road Station. Oh no, excuse me. It's St. Bordeaux Ferry Road Station. St. Bordeaux Victoria is the one on the Tamar Valley line. That's what a lot of people said, was that it looked like in AEM-7, which it really does. I mean, hey, if DTG and Amtrak have a good relationship, I am not going to complain. Losing Amtrak content for the game would be a pretty hefty blow. So. Especially since the full Northeast Corridor is not available for Train Simulator yet. We still need Baltimore to Philadelphia and then New Haven to Boston, so. Speed limit is dropping to 15 as we approach the Royal Albert Bridge and the crossing of the River Tamar. Ooh, if only. It's a rather impressive structure. That's the Tamar Valley line down below. I.K. Brunel, engineer, 1859. Isambard Kingdom Brunel, of course, the chief engineer of the historic Great Western Railway, was a big fan of wide gauge. In fact, the Great Western Main Line was originally built with wide gauge tracks before being standardized. I forget when. You're right, Jessica. It does kind of remind me of the Hellgate Bridge. Never noticed that, but that is an astute observation. Then, of course, the parallel Tamar Bridge, which takes a motorway, probably an M. Nope, the A38. What up, Ned? Yeah, dang right. What's up with you? Not much on this end. We're now passing Saltash Station. Nothing? That's good. Got a bone. Leading some cement wagons. Oops. We're now descending a 1 on 67 gradient. We are now in County Cornwall. And will remain there on our run to Penzance. Speed limit has gone up to 55. Oh, absolutely, Jessica. There is very little I love more than a good-looking bridge. And England actually boasts quite a number of amazing bridges. Aside from... exactly. Aside from the Tamar and Prince Albert bridges here in Plymouth, there's also the Royal Border Bridge south of Berwick-upon-Tweed, the Forth Bridge, and Tay Bridges in Scotland. Tower Bridge, of course, of course. Of course, living in Michigan, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Mackinac Bridge. Some of the bridges on some of the German routes in Trans-Siberian are also quite nice. I think the one just north of Cologne, I think is the one I'm thinking of, is a very nice bridge. Speed limit has now gone up to 70, and we are about 12 2/3 miles from Liskierd, our first of several stops. Nah, how can I forget about the Sydney Harbor Bridge? That is a good shout. Oh, there's also a massive bridge in Japan. I can't remember where, but it's a double level bridge that carries both road traffic and Shinkansen trains over from the Japanese mainland to one of the outlying islands. Oh, and I can't remember where. There's a whole article about it in the May 1990 issue of Trains, which I only have because it also has a profile of the Santa Fe, Chicago to Kansas City main line. Written, actually, by one Gary Dalzall. I hope I'm saying his name right. Who we all know and love as High Iron Simulations. Gary has actually wrote a number of articles for Trains in the 80s and 90s, as well as supplying photographs. So that would be funny. Got a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit coming up. Is that our Morpeth board warning? Yep, that's our Morpeth board for the 50. See if I can. I'm currently looking at it in the virtual. Okay. I can mute that annoying sound. Alright. Just need a picture of it. It is the. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. The Seto Great Bridge? It separates Honshu from Shikoku, the two provinces. Honestly, one of the coolest things about the Sacramento Northern Route is driving over the Bay Bridge. That is so cool. Yeah, it was one of SP's interurbans. I can't remember what it was called. Um, so can I just read any issues? Oh no, I need an unlimited membership. Interesting. Wish there was an easier way to navigate to what you're looking for, though. If I can connect lips. Oh, wait. Aren't you remembering me? Oh, dope. Depending on legislation, on the operation, concerning the operation of steam locomotives in downtown San Francisco, possibly. I know there was a pretty big movement among American cities in the 19aughts, 10s, and 20s, banning the use of steam locomotives in the actual city limits. Which is partly what led to the electrification of the New York Central between Grand Central Station and Hart and Crommen in New York. Well, not partly, that is what led to it. Yeah, there was a rather nasty rear end collision that was basically caused by all the massive amount of steam locomotive smoke obscuring signals in the Park Avenue tunnels, or just outside the tunnels within the station's interlocking complex. One of the fun things about the Cornish Main Line too is that it is extremely hilly. You're going to be going up and down some not insignificant grades as you traverse this line. Board warning there for the upcoming 60. I don't think gravity's... No, gravity's not going to quite get us there. Ah, didn't quite make it. But that's fine. Hennian. I think we might have already passed St. Germans. Yep. Climbing up a 1 in 93. Yep, you had the, like I said, the electrification from New York to Groton Harbin, the electrification from New York to New Haven, and the electrification of the Northeast Corridor, as well as the line from Philadelphia to Harrisburg. All of which still exist to this day. In fact, the New Haven electrification was extended by Amtrak in preparation for the introduction of the Acellas. Unfortunately, yes. Another fun thing about this route is that it is littered with semaphores, which is always fun. I mean, yeah. Down below is the branch to the Moore's Water Cement Works and the branch to the town of, and I'm going to butcher this, Lou. Resident pronunciation guide, Code Monkey, is not with us, so unfortunately, I'm just going to have to butcher that. Got a little bit of time to ease up to the end of the platform here. Well, then why do I keep you around, Code Monkey? Damn. Apparently. Gonna have to remember that. Like, use that power. Yeah. Trains to there. To Lou. To Low. To that place. Could be. It's all in the lurking. I like that. Good. Next up is Bodmin Parkway. Arrival time is 6:19. Found it pretty nifty that these sleepers were included with West Coast Mainline over Shap. And that Mark 1 sleepers are also included with the West Highland Line South, which I discovered in the Thanksgiving sale after purchasing the West Highland Line South. That was part of New Toys, but yeah, I quite enjoy that route. Very scenic. Although it feels like some of the hills are a little bald, but I don't know if that's just like how it is. But aside from that, it's a very nicely done route. And even if it is not a traffic powerhouse, it's probably not the word. But, even if it's not a very busy route, it certainly is a joy to drive. So. Plus, plus you're driving Class 37s all over it, so you can't be mad at some tractor action. I especially enjoy the silhouettes of the Scottish Terriers on the sides of the locomotives, as well as them having the little stenciled ED for the fact that they're based out of Eastfield Depot in Glasgow. Aside from that, I picked up the Class 56, which is pretty decent. The 3F Ginty, which is quite a nice drive. I of course picked up the free Amtrak P42 pack while it was free. It's not free. What else did I get? The Falmouth branch in the J94 Austerity pack. We're prepared for an upcoming, actually a speed limit change that doesn't affect us. The freight train limit is dropping to 45. Our speed limit is not, as we assault this 1 on 53. Duh, of course, the Falmouth Ranch. I just made a scenario of the Falmouth Ranch. Which I quite enjoyed. I really like the GWR Large Prairies. on the lookout for leaves on the line. That was a warning for the upcoming 40. Try to bring our speed down while the freaking tracks are descending. Speed limit is going up to 55 once we are across the switch. I'll just let gravity do the work on that one. Oop, nope. It's actually only 40 for us. Multiple unit trains are allowed to 55, which I thought was the case. Believe that is owing to their better braking ability over local haul trains. Speed limit is now 55 for all trains. And if I remember my tests of this, as we come through the switches here, we should be good to... Yep. Hoover. West Highland Line extension might, Code Monkey, but I don't think South does because it's everything is, I think, pretty much still local hauled in the 80s. At least I don't remember seeing any Sprinter signs. Is that Falling Rocks? 500 yards to LL 1030, which I believe is the signal. Yeah. And breaking the speed limit a little bit, but who cares? Yeah, it was at LL 1031. Yep. Handy dandy distance markers, since you can't always see signals. Coming down a 1 in 68 here. About 2.5 miles to go to Bodmin Parkway. Bodmin Parkway always makes me think of the episode of Doc Martin, which I think is in the first series, right after or it's like the second or third episode of the series called Going Bodmin, which is like what the locals in Port Wen call it when someone like goes insane. I think it refers to like the Bodmin Marshes or something like that. I haven't seen the episode in a while, but always makes me think of that. We're just slightly late. Up ahead here are the sidings for the Bodmin General Railway. A light here for bus services to Bodmin, Wadebridge, and Padstow, and for the sorry, not the Bodmin General. I don't know what it was. The Bodmin and Winford Railway, which I think goes to Bodmin General Station. Maybe. I could also just be talking out of my ass. Steam trains in the heart of Cornwall. Nope, no treasures. That's right, only outsides. 5, 6, and 7. Where's 1, 2, 3, and 4? We have a mystery. Nope, they're not back there. Nope. 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 Fascinating. Good. Next up is Lostwithiel. Arrival time is 6:26. I also received word from the signal that the switch to the yard at Lostwithiel may have been left open, so keep an eye out on the signals as we get close. Some lazy freight crew didn't do their job. Of course, at Lostwithiel, we will be retreading area covered in the China Clay for export route. And the speed limit has gone up to 65. Warp with forward warning for an incoming drop in the freight limit to 55. This does not affect us as a non-freight train. Warp with forward warning for an oncoming drop to 45. Now passing the goods loops, or the up goods loop at Lost with Eel. And now the down loop featuring a train. I mean, they do, Jessica, but that's also because, like, I mean, they serve a different purpose. Well, I mean, they serve the same purpose, but, like, not to the same degree. I don't think they want that. Bit of a short platform here at Lost with Eel. Looks like the yard switch was not left open. Ah! What do they know? They don't know what's good for them. So Lost with Eel is, of course, the north end, as I mentioned, of the China Clay 4 export route. Pretty sure it's sound meaty again. Again implies they ever did, Jessica. So this yard is featured in that route. It's a spot for performing runarounds as you head down to the dock. And the junction to that branch is just up ahead. Good. Next up is Par. Arrival time is 6:34. Branch to the dock is diverging at left as we continue down towards Par. I like how this is where the debate's at now. Like, we've gotten away from whose trains are better looking, and now it's just, well, British horns suck anyway, so who cares? Fair. Upcoming freight limit drop to 40. Not our concern. Are the Swiss really that bad? Code Monkey? I can't think of a time when I've heard a Swiss train horn. No, that's the Swedish, Jessica. The Swedes provided the template for the AEM-7. I think. Could be wrong. Now that I think about it. Okay, yeah. I was like, about ready to Google that. Huh, interesting. Although, I guess that's fair. Trains and avalanches usually don't mix. And I mean, avalanches aren't a great thing anyway, so. It's tough to make your nice rural alpine village look like a Christmas card if it's, you know, buried under 7 feet of snow. And, like, totally destroyed. Came to the top of another hill, and now we're rolling down the other side on a 1 in 62 gradient. That's interesting. I don't know how that would work, cause like, at least the cabbages are like they have a blunt end, so like they kind of sort of work as cab cars. Like, it's not elegant, but it still gives the idea of a continuous train, whereas like an HHP-8 is, I mean, it's its own thing. It's a distinct unit. Passing another down goods loop here at Par. Trying to hit the brake, turning on the cab light instead. Yeah, I saw that. That's not good. I didn't see too many details. Hopefully nobody was hurt too badly. Par, of course, is the other end of the section of Great Western Main Line on the, or Cornish Main Line on the China Clay for export route. Hey, Chappa's sitting over there waiting for their next assignment. Pretty sure that woman just morphed out of that building there. That's good. Always good to hear that. We don't want to... Never good when anybody dies in a railway accident, so... that is good to hear. Ooh, that is also good to hear. My dad is actually a big fan of that project. He's really looking forward to when she's excursion ready and going down to Albuquerque and seeing her. He he donated to the project. He actually bought the the book the society just released about it. He grew up not too far from the. I think I've talked about this before, but he grew up not too far from the. Good. Next stop is St. Austell. Arrival time is 6:42 and a half. That is definitely the hope, Jessica. I know that would be really cool. I know my dad would really like that. He grew up not too far from the original Santa Fe main line in far western Illinois. Not too far away from where it crosses the Mississippi. And so he spent a lot of time in the town of Fort Madison, which was a big Santa Fe division point. Still is a division point. Not quite as significant as it once was. Everything to the right there is the connection to the facility at St. Blasey in the Atlantic coastline to Newquay. A more significant portion of which is modeled in the China Clay for export route. But in Fort Madison, near the original Santa Fe station, there is another one of the 2900 class on static display in Riverfront Park. All the time as my kid, whenever my dad would drive past it, he always wondered what it would be like to see one of those in operation. And so once he heard about the restoration, he was super excited, and so he's been waiting years for the restoration to be completed. And he was super happy this year when I sent him the video of it being steamed up and moving under her own power. So. Yes, Jessica. Fort Madison remains the only crew change point on the Santa Fe Transcon between Chicago and Kansas City. That's just something I would like to see. I would absolutely love to see a 29-26, 37-51 doubleheader. the last crew change point to be eliminated was either Chillicothe, Illinois, or La Plata, Missouri. I can't remember which. I remember. Yeah. I remember there was an article on in trains a few years back, and it was a former PR director for the Santa Fe, and he was there for, or I don't know that he was PR director, but he worked in the Santa Fe's PR department. He might have been the director. Anyway, he was on hand for the first run of the Super C in 1968, and they organized a whole bunch of national press coverage. They made it a really big deal, and they interviewed the final crew when it arrived at Hobart Yard in Los Angeles, and one of the reporters asked, "Did you get a lot of snow on the run?" Because, not a lot of people in the mainstream press know how railroads work. But, the engineer played it cool and he said, no, we don't get a lot of snow between here and San Bernardino. Which, of course, got a big laugh from everybody, but the guy who wrote the article pointed out that it, was a subtle way of pointing out the ridiculousness of the fact that San Bernardino to Los Angeles was a crew district, and it took something like 18 crews to move it across the railroad. Tractor! Some stone cars. Oh, absolutely. The Super C could have lasted, but it lost the government contract to carry mail, and turns out that was what was pretty much paying to keep it alive, because nobody else wanted to pay the exorbitant prices Santa Fe was charging for it to move goods on the train. And of course, 20 years later, that had all changed, and UPS and JB Hunt were willing to shell out big bucks for them to thunder trains across the railroad. So, coming into Saint Austell here. Which I believe is the end of the West Cornwall local route for TSW. Yeah, that would have been really nice if they could have done that. Get the doors open. Which, if that's the case, that route's actually bigger than I think it is. Local. St. Austell and St. Ives. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I thought that route was a lot smaller, but St. Austell to Penzance is still a good distance. Yeah, all kinds of things would have been possible. So it is definitely a bummer that that couldn't last. And who knows? Maybe we'd have more reliable mail service in this country right now. Because, oh my God. just recently my dad told me a story. So he and my aunt had to um, had to work with a lawyer to help settle my grandmother's estate earlier this year when she passed, and they had to send a check to him, and my aunt sent it through the mail, and it was going from central Iowa um, to western Illinois, so it's not a very far trip. And weeks go by. It was about a month, and the check hadn't posted to my aunt's bank account, and she's like, "Well, what's going on?" So she calls up the lawyer, and she's like, "Hey, why haven't you cashed this check yet? It's not showing up that it's been cashed." And good. Next stop is Truro. Arrival time is 7:01 and a half. And the lawyer's like, "Oh, well, I don't know what's up with that. Hang on, let me go check." So the lawyer comes back a few minutes later. And he's like, "Well, you'll never believe this. It just came in today's mail. It had taken it a month to get from central Iowa to western Illinois. And we're talking like maybe 45 minutes from the Mississippi River. Um, it, across from like the southeast corner of Iowa. Like something that's like only like a 3.5 hour drive. She, it was nuts. But yes, absolutely, the Postal Service should think of shipping by rail. I mean, heck, rail mail in the UK is still alive and well. On 2 lines, but you know. We don't have infrastructure to support dedicated mail trains. Well, we do. Because, like, there's 2 or 3 different BNSF yards that are basically right next to UPS centers. I know Willow Springs is right next to one in Chicago, and I believe North Bay in Richmond, California is right next to a big Union Pacific, or not Union Pacific, UPS sorting center. I guess, but I don't know. Clearly, like, that's honestly probably what it is, Code Monkey. It's just. But the thing with that is you just contract it out to the railroads. Who, yeah, are going to inflate it a little bit because, you know, they're going to try and make money off of it. Passing Bungalow Depot on the right. And the branch to some facility is off to the right as well. Well, I mean, the thing of it too is that, like, it's not like in England where Royal Mail was able to, you know, have the 325s constructed and then use them for mail service. Because, I mean, you would have to buy... See, honestly, what they should just do is go back to moving mail on the back of Amtrak trains. And if they don't want to mess with that, then just... Because honestly, it would be a pretty simple matter just to pay to have them stuck on Z trains. You know, you could reduce the overhead by just buying, buying a bunch of, like, containers, lettering them for, the post office or the Department of Transportation or whoever, and then just have them, just pay to have them shipped on Z trains. See, you say that, Code Monkey, but, like, it's literally taking months or weeks for stuff to get through the postal service right now. So, like, it's time sensitive, but if you don't pay for it to be time sensitive, then it's not time sensitive. You know, if I send this envelope, and I stick a regular postage stamp on it and stick it in the mail, it gets there when it gets there. I'd have to yeah. I have to pay more if I wanted to, like, get there in any kind of reasonable time. I mean, yeah, to be fair, most of the time, your stuff is going to get there, depending on where it's going, inside a week. I would usually give myself like a week. Once I left home, I give myself like a week usually to, like, get, like, birthday cards sent out to my parents. And honestly, even 5 or 6 days is usually enough. But and that's assuming it gets delivered to the right address at the other end. There are several accounts over the years of my parents getting the wrong mail delivered to the house. We've got neighbors' mail. We've gotten people who live across the neighborhood's mail. Like, it's nuts. See, that at least makes sense. But, like, it won't even be, like, you know, the house number, like, 100 lower than my parents'. It'll be, like, you know, 50 off. And you're just like, how? How are you that bad at reading numbers? So, like, say my parents live at 1234. Like, they'll get letters for, you know, what 1259, and you're just like, how? How? I mean, maybe. Actually, one of the best ones was my parents got their neighbor's water bill from the city, and it was late, um, and so my mom saw that, and of course immediately freaked out because she thought she had forgotten to, you know, pay the water bill. Only after opening it did she notice that it was not theirs; it was the neighbor's. And so that put her in a bit of a pickle because it would have been rather embarrassing to walk over to the neighbor's house, knock on their door, and say, "Hey, I accidentally opened your, you know, overdue water bill." Because I didn't pay attention. Here you go. You should probably pay this. Because that would have been rough. So I think what she told me she ended up doing was taping it back shut and stuffing it in their mailbox and running away. This line really is pretty. It's a very scenic area. All the way out here in Nowhereville. Because we're heading almost to the very southwestern point of the country. Penzance isn't quite there, but it's pretty dang close. Eh, a little bit of overspeed. Never hurt anyone. Had a Morpeth board warning there, but I'll be honest, I don't remember what it was for. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final descent into Cornwall. I mean, Truro. Oh, it was for that drop in the freight limit to 40. Porpoise board warning for an upcoming 30. Kind of far away from the AWS ramp. You can see the beautiful village of Truro over to our right. Just a bit. Ease into the station here. Wonder why this wasn't picked as the endpoint for West Cornwall local. Oop, the repeater is on, meaning we have a red signal here at the end of the platform. The track layout seems to be a tad more simplified from the Falmouth branch days. What is now a parking lot was once a bunch of goods sightings. And a couple other platforms, actually. Used to be sightings over here. The turntable was like right over here in this area. Now it's M. Thomas Management Limited. Oh, the signal dropped. Oh, by a hair, we got it in enough for the door to open on the rear coach. Whew! Not a lot of room for error there. It was used at one point, but, you know, yes. You're not wrong. Look, we would have used it eventually if you just left it there. Now we don't even have the option. Good. Next up is Red Ruth. Arrival time is 7:14. Look, Code Monkey. Nobody said rail fanning was ever about being rational. Exactly. aforementioned Falmouth branch continues straight ahead as we turn to the right to continue heading down towards Penzance. I know that the horn on the Class 47 is probably garbage, and like it has no two-tone control, which is really annoying, but I'll be damned if it doesn't evoke the deepest sense of nostalgia for me. Driving one of the scenarios that comes with the original ECML, where you take empty coal wagons from Thurslington to Dunstan. One of the first scenarios I ever played for Ford Train Simulator, way back when, the deluxe version of TS 2012. Driving through the dark, wintry landscape, having no idea where the hell I am, what the hell I'm driving, any of what's going on. Exactly. And then being really confused when I got like 50 improper horn use violations at the end of the scenario. Hard to believe that was almost 10 years ago now. December 23rd, 2011. So yeah. Christmas Eve this year will be my 10th anniversary of owning the game. Just freaking crazy, dude. It's freaking crazy. June 2014, huh? That's pretty good. You're at 7 years now, almost 7.5. Speed limit has now gone up to 70. All right, Jessica, out with it. How long have you owned the game? Ah, 2015. You're the baby of the group. Oh, what is that? What is that? Is that some HST hype? Let's go. Man, just think, 10 years ago, I didn't know that HSTs were hype. I'm trying to think. Junior year started 2015. Senior year started 2015. Junior year would have started 2014. My sophomore year would have started 2015 or 2013, which is my freshman year. Ooh, lucky you. So my freshman year would have started in 2022. So yeah, I was in 8th grade when I first got this game. For context, I'm coming up now on 1 year since I graduated college. Actually, the beginning of my freshman year of college came during um, that one really long period where either Steam or the game had a glitch where um, people with over 50 workshop submissions couldn't upload to the workshop, and so that was like devastating to me at a time when I was already like super stressed because I was like moving away from home, starting this whole new experience, and like I couldn't upload scenarios, and so like this one thing that I loved doing, I like all of a sudden couldn't do at a time where like I needed something to like bring me comfort. Yeah, it took him like 3 months to figure out what the problem was. It was, it was just, and like looking back on it, I was like, oh yeah, there was like so many people who like weren't uploading scenarios, because all the heavy hitters were obviously affected. Me, High Iron. Um, I don't remember if Todd Burke had started to make scenarios yet, but um, people who, like, you associate it as the big names of the TS workshop were, like, not uploading scenarios just all at the same time all of a sudden. But yeah, one day DTG finally released a patch, and in the patch notes it was fixed error that prevented people with more than 50 workshop submissions from uploading scenarios. Good. Next up is Camborne. Arrival time is 7:22 and a half. So for Camborne, we have Hail, St. Earth, and Penzance. So yeah, 18-year-old me was having a bad time. Speed limit is 40. I mean, yeah, for a lot of people, but like honestly, if I get to a stage where or not a stage, because I had this issue earlier this year too, where I had to reinstall Steam to be able to upload to the workshop again. If I get to a point where um, uh, I can't upload to, or it, if I get into a situation where I can't upload through like factors beyond my control, um, like I won't play Train Simulator, like, cause like absolutely, like I have the idea that like, oh, I can make a bunch of scenarios and then release them all at once when like you know when the issue is fixed, but and this has happened a couple of times now. I just can't bring myself to. I'm just like, well, what's the point if I can't upload them? But yes, I was a very happy boy when they fixed that issue. Whew. Luckily, I didn't have that issue. I do remember people having that issue though. Yeah, the 64-bit rollout was less than smooth. Coming in way early here at Camborne, so. Speed limit is going up to 70, which is nice to know for when that affects us. This was a very nice looking car for the the late 80s. Another shorter platform here at Camborne. Could have pulled it a little farther forward, but eh. Class 47 stroke 0. X. Wait, 120, 120, weight, tonnes, 121. Brake force, tonnes, 60. ETH index, none. RA, 6. Max speed, 95. Oh, that's right, route availability, 6. Brush Sulzer, number 455, 1963. Oh, RA stands for route availability, and the class 47, this unit's particular number is 6, which that's not down to unit, that was down to class. I forget how route availability was scored. Route availability. According to Wikipedia, route availability is a system by which the permanent way in supporting works, bridges, embankments, etc., of the railway network of Great Britain are graded. All routes are allocated an RA number between 1 and 10. Rolling stock is also allocated an RA, again between 1 and 10, and the RA of the train is the highest RA of a train is the highest RA of any of its elements. The train must have a route availability lower than or equal to the RA of a line to be allowed to use it. The RA is primarily related to the axle load of a vehicle, although axle spacing is also taken into consideration. In practice, it is the locomotive which governs where trains may operate, although high-capacity four-axle wagons have high RAs when fully loaded. When considering the operation of trains, the loading gauge must also be considered. The system was first devised by the London and North Eastern Railway and perpetuated by British Rail to ascertain which locomotives can work on which lines throughout the rail network in Great Britain. Exemptions may be obtained to allow locomotives to operate on lines from which they may otherwise be banned. An exemption might be granted by placing a speed restriction over a weak bridge, for example. Oh, yeah. Good. Next stop is Hale. Arrival time is 7:31. Yeah, I don't know a ton about route availability. I haven't read up a lot on it. Yeah. I mostly came across it initially when I was Googling various different um, British Rail locomotive classes. Because I've gotten yelled at in the past for using uh, locomotives on the wrong routes, or particularly famous one of mine is that there are several scenarios in which a Deltic appears on the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway. That one got me rather aggressively called out. Ooh, good shot, Jessica. I hadn't thought about that. Yes! What is your take on that, Code Monkey? I don't know how big you are into American trains, so... Speed limit has dropped down to 60. I'll take that. That was a Northwest forward warning for this upcoming 50. Yeah, that's also fair. I go through periods like that. Sometimes I just won't touch TS for a while. I like, not even because I'm like busy, just because like I don't feel like it. Let's go, more HST hype. Nice, nice. I've been bouncing around a couple of games. I'm currently in a TS mood, so. Although, right now I don't have a great idea for my next scenario, but. But I started playing a game of Transport Fever again, because somebody released a mod on Workshop for the Class 59 for TF2. Ah, shoot. Bring forth thy recommendation. The Long Dark. Ooh, I'm not familiar. Yeah, American Truck's one that's really funny. I won't touch it for like 6 months, and then I'll play it for like 2 straight weeks. And then I'll get bored of it again. Usually when I get back into it too, I'll buy map DLCs. Ooh, that is interesting. Actually, on the topic of survival games, what I'm really looking forward to is Pokemon Legends Arceus, which comes out actually next month. I've been really looking forward to that. All the teasers have gotten me and my brother super hyped for that. And the weekend before Thanksgiving and then the week of Thanksgiving, I spent a lot of time playing Brilliant Diamond, which just came out last month. Which was the which is the remake of Pokemon Diamond from. And I'm gonna date myself here, which came out when I was in, oh god, elementary school. I'm not familiar with the GTA Definitive Trilogy, but I'll take your word for it that it's not good. I don't know why we're gonna be so late at Hale. Work with board for an upcoming 45. See, I read mobile game developer, and I'm already worried. Well, that's not good. Little marina here at Hale. I love this bridge. I think... Is that like this? I wish I could find the angle again, because I made a screenshot. No, it was lower than that. Good, next up is St. Earth. Arrival time is 7:36. Maybe it was from here? Maybe. I have to find it. But yeah, the extreme super elevation and the lighting just made it a really nice shot. Spin limit has now gone up to 75. Coming in from the right is the St. Ives branch. which is fully modeled on the TSW West Cornwall local route, and was made by somebody on Workshop, but I don't think they've updated it in a while. Which is a shame because it is a nice looking route. Subclass 105 hype. Good. Next and final stop is Penzance. Arrival time is 7:47. I heard from another driver that the signal at Penzance may be messed up, so you might have to request permission, press tab to access the platform. Man, my conductor is more in the, or my guard's more in the know than I am. Oh, just kept her from going over. I got them skills. Warp forward warning for an upcoming 50. We're now passing Long Rock Depot, and actually, fun fact, if you go to Google Earth on, or if you go to, well, Google Earth, whatever, and you plop a street view marker down on this road, you will be able to see the Night Riviera set parked up in one of these sites, and the street view is sightings, and the street view is from like 2009, I think. So it's still in the First Great Western um, livery. You can go. Oops. All right, let's see. Video capture. Nope. Oops. Game capture. That's the one. Specific window. Not that one. Can I not? Hotkey? No, that's not what I want. No. Can I not capture just Alright. Alright, never mind. Wait for the game to come back. Okay, there we go. Speed limit has gone back up to 70, but consider we are crushing our way towards a terminus station. feel like that might not be the wisest idea. So I'll just let it coast along. Warpeth board for an upcoming 15-mile-an-hour speed limit. Start putting on some brakes for that speed limit. And we got a naughty from TPWS. Yeah, if I had tabbed, we probably wouldn't have gotten that. Oh well. We still have a few minutes. Just blast it into full power. I think it's a speed check because we came up on a red signal. And so technically we should have been doing, I think it was under 10 by the time we came over the TPWS grid. Which I forgot about. But if I had tabbed it and we had gotten the shunt signal, I don't think it would have been an issue. But I could be wrong. Oh, more Hoover hype. We're not quite fully in the platform. It's 2 speed checks we've gotten now. A little bit more. Want to kiss the buffers. Want to kiss the buffers. Came very close to kissing the buffers. I like how this platform is, or this track is squashed between the platform and the parking lot. Penzance welcomes you. Penzance agas Dianerg. I am so sorry to any people who speak, what is it, Gaelic? Good work, Trevor. Let's grab a couple before we take her into the depot. Scenario complete. Whew, that was a long one. That was kind of the point. Lightly kiss. Gentle. Gentle. Penalty brakes applied to... Whose fault is that? What did we spat? I don't remember spatting. I have questions. Anyway. We are going to pop on over for the next one in just a moment. All right, we are back. And you are correct, Code Monkey. I forgot about that. We probably did get. We probably passed over the trap marker for the red light at the buffer stop. So, points to you. Ooh, go for it, Jessica. All right, back across the pond now. In celebration of the soon to return Mariah's Pass, we're going to be running it using another DLC that will soon be coming back. Well, we'll get into that. It's a lovely fall afternoon in 1958. You are in charge of a crew working out of Cut Bank, Montana on various locals and other tasks. Today you're tasked with taking a shortcut of oil tankers down to Shelby for further distribution. Collect the tankers, supply the caboose, and be on your way. You'll be following another eastbound freight, though, so watch those signals. Duration 55 minutes. Ah, don't need that disclaimer anymore. And this is Oil Extra, the scenario. Ooh. Using the GP9 from the Empire Builder, the Great Northern Empire Builder DLC. Cut Bank Yardmaster, good afternoon. First, grab the cut of tankers on the Wellspur. You are in charge of your own switches here in the yard. So yeah, this is the GP9 that's included in the Great Northern Empire Builder pack, which should be making its way back to Steam in the near future for non-Americans. I did see that. Actually, no, I don't know that I have that one downloaded. I'm pretty sure I have the 50s version of Montana Highline. I just haven't gone and downloaded the asset pack you need which is from a third-party website. And honestly, I'd be more motivated to if we either had Great Northern Steam or a few more Great Northern Diesels available. For the game. It's an unmarked 10-mile-an-hour speed limit. Additionally, you're going to see used in the scenario cars from the Great Northern Wagon Pack, which again should also be making its return in the hopefully not too distant future. I know DTG said they were going to be rolling DLC out as the year progresses. Ignore that. Ignore that too. Good. Now grab a caboose off the team track. Be sure to avoid any cars in the various sightings. That's super helpful. And that one. And good. We should be lined up to the yard lead. So the team track is that one. Jesus. Ignore that. Ignore that. Stupid things. I mean, that's one spur. So it's not like the whole yard has one going through it, but the answer is no. Also, this is a small town in Montana. I'm not sure how busy that road actually is. From an rail operation standpoint, most definitely. From a just people living in their standpoint, I don't know. I guess maybe just being a busier railway place would have meant that more people just inherently lived there, but I don't know. There's that eastbound freight that was talked about. Got a back-to-back set of Fs. Oh, come on. Good. Set your switches and move towards the main line. I'll contact the dispatcher and let him know you're departing. It's a free roam. Oh, I could have guessed that by the fact that all the markers are highlighted on the HUD. I don't know why it does that. But yes, you are correct, Jessica. AA configuration. No. GN Montana Division Dispatcher. GN 662 East, this is dispatch. I can line you up over the crossovers east of town where 358 will cross over. After that, you can follow him east. Ah, yes. Good old covered wagons. So yeah, this scenario features rolling stock from the Union Pacific GP30 and PRR Sharks DLCs. Actually, that's where the tankers are from, is from the Sharknose. Well, see, Code Monkey, it's funny you say that, because that's where the nickname comes from. It's the fact that they resembled covered wagons that the pioneers would have used. Notice, of course, the distinct lack of dynamic brakes on these units. Odd for a railroad that has some pretty gnarly mountain grades. Speed limit is now up to 30, but we are coming up against a red, so very little point in accelerating, I should think. The sharks got moved? You mean the ones that have been in storage in, I want to say upstate New York? Or are you talking about the San Jose Sharks NHL team? Somehow I doubt that. Oh wait, no, not upstate New York. Those have been in storage in the UP of Michigan. Ooh, where'd they get moved to? Oh, it does have a passenger view. That's nice. Actually, it'll be nicer once we're rolling. Oh, do we not have a cupola view? That's disappointing. Oh! We have a yeller. Ooh. That would be cool. I just hope people can play nice. I've known a few people. Not all of them can play nice. Ooh! One thing I just realized, with worldwide BNSF content coming back, I hope that means DTG is going to make some more. Because outside of Tehachapi, which is honestly mainly a UP route in terms of the in-game experience, DTG themselves I don't think have made any. It's all been third party. It's pretty much just been DTM and Mile High, no, not Mile High, Milepost making them. That as well, Jessica, as well as a route for TSW. several Code Monkey. They operate SC-70 Aces and SC-70 Max. So, I guess just two. I don't think they operate. Which are actually represented in the SC-70 Volume 2 pack. Yeah, the SC-72 pack has a BNSF SC-70 Ace, a BNSF SC-70 Mac, Canadian National SC-70 M-2, and an Norfolk Southern SC-70 M-2. We are coming up on the next signal, so I'm going to cut power until we can get a good look at what it actually is. Now, that being said, I would like to finally see some Heritage 2 and Heritage 3 liveried SC-70 Max in the game. And, I mean, honestly, just ones that are up to the more current standard. What are we looking at? Is that a yellow? That is a yellow. We got a yeller. So, I probably don't want to push it too much above 40. I should just keep it at 30. A barf bonnet would be nice. Or I guess the barf bonnet. Is it a shame? It's called the barf bonnet for a reason. I won't, but I have a feeling 90s rail fans would. That was not a popular paint scheme. If you can't tell by the nickname. It's like you can tell which diesels British rail fans didn't like by their nickname. Like 47s are Duffs. 57s are Body Snatchers. Although that one's more accurate than anything. 25s are Rats. Ooh, I don't know that I ever saw War Vomit. Barf Bonnet I'm familiar with. Give it a quick Google here. Google doesn't appear to know what I am talking about. Everybody knows Barf Vomit, though. I mean, okay, yeah, Barf Bonnet wasn't too bad. I really hope that signal's not red. Oh, no, it's green. That's why you shouldn't Google things while you're trying to drive trains. Speed limit has dropped down to 55 as we enter into this curve here. But we're doing just fine coasting down the 1% grade here. And the speed limit is now going back up to 60. Put on a little bit of power. We got another green. coming up on Etheridge. Still getting greens. No shortage of AI in this. Whew. it is yellow. We need to be slowing down anyway because we're coming up on a 55 mile an hour speed limit. So I guess we don't need to be slowing down really. Even yet more AI. Whew. Getting close to the signals, so we're gonna put on some brakes. Apparently these tankers have some pretty serious kick. Does look like we've got a yellow though. Speed limit is dropping to 50. 4 miles now to go to Teton. GN Montana Division Dispatcher. GN 662 East, this is Dispatch. I'll be crossing you over at Teton so you can enter Shelby Yard. Set the switches for Shelby Hub number 2913, the middle siding. Aren't there like 2 middle sidings? Oh, no. Yeah, it is the middle siding. Got a flashing yellow, which means we will be crossing over at the next control point. Put some power on. We know we have quite a bit of time to fill. Or not time to fill, but, well, time to fill. But we got a ways to the next signal, so. We'll have a 25-mile-an-hour limit crossing over up here at Teton. Not further enough along yet. We can check the switch. Up ahead and to the left with the train on it is the, as Jessica just said, the Sweetgrass sub, which goes up to the town of Sweetgrass, which is right on the Canadian border, and where in this era, Great Northern would interchange with Canadian Pacific. In the modern era, BNSF interchanges with Canadian Pacific. You're good, you're good. Okay. Not that one. That one. Yep. That should be right. Speed limit has gone back up to 45, but we will be diverging off into the yard shortly. So there's no real reason in getting too worked up. I didn't get to experience rushing along at line speed from the back of the caboose, so we'll just have to enjoy it now. JN662 East, this is dispatch. I'm having trouble with the yard signal. It will not clear even if you request permission. However, you are clear to enter the Shelby Yard. I'll leave you with the Shelby Yard Master. You know, they say all the fun action happens at front, but I'd be willing to bet sitting on a caboose porch, watching the tracks fly out from under you and into the distance. I mean, basically watching this, but in real life. I bet you that would have been pretty sweet. Stupid kick. Ah, they knew my strategy. Tried to drop down low enough where the kick wouldn't send us over the speed limit, but they were anticipating that. Get it even lower. There we go.
Got a few cabooses here. You can't afford an accident. What's your safety score today? Be wise, beware, be safe. Radio equipped. You can't afford an accident. Work safely every day. Work safely every day. Work safely every day. Hmm. Weird things going on with the audio. Alright, I think that's good enough. Shelby Yardmaster, good afternoon. Have a nice trip. You can leave the train here and I'll see about getting you a return trip. Scenario complete. Alright. That is gonna do it. Thanks everyone for watching. As a reminder, everything you see played here can be found on Steam Workshop. Link to that is on the homepage on Twitch, where you will also find the link to the YouTube channel, which is like a month out of date at this point. I'm gonna need to do like a mass upload probably tomorrow or Sunday. Get caught up. We're missing a few. So, but the link to that is on the homepage, and all of the various information will be, of course, in the description of the VOD on YouTube. Be sure to also hop over and like the Facebook page, where you'll get updates about the fact that I didn't stream last week, and stuff like when I post a new scenario, and some of the other stuff I post on there, just to fill space and time. Exactly. Thank you, Jessica. Trains are back again next week, and it will actually, I realized during this that it will be the final train stream of the year. Crazily enough, the week after next is Christmas, so I will be off, and the week after that is New Year's Eve, and we will be doing a special New Year's Eve edition of Fridays in the Valley. So, yeah, crazy to think 2021 is rapidly coming to an end. So, crazy as that sounds. Gosh, where did it all go? Anyway, links are in the places. You know where to look. And I will see you all again next time. Bye.